Now former Israeli National Security Advisor Eyal Hulata. Eyal, thank you for being here. This is the looming question for so many people. And in fact, a former chief speechwriter for President George W. Bush wrote in a new op-ed, without U.S. help, Israel could damage, if not destroy, Fordo. So can Israel do this without the United States military?
Well, Israel embarked on this attack on June 12th. And of course, the premise must have been, I was not there in these discussions, but I know how this would usually work. Israel must have realized that nothing is certain about U.S. involvement. Israel decided to go at it because our analysis, which was shared with the Americans, was that Iran was creeping towards a nuclear weapon, which changes the entire paradigm. And I reject the statement was said before that there was fabricated or fake intelligence in it. I think I know the picture very, very well. From an Israeli perspective, if Iran is moving towards a nuclear weapon, not just the enrichment, things have fundamentally changed, and we had to act. And when Israel embarked on this, there was nothing certain about the Americans. And in fact, at this point, I don't know if President Trump will decide to attack or not.
He said as much, yeah.
Exactly. And he will need to decide on this according to American national security interest and nothing more. And I say that because when Israel embarked on this, Israel went after a few components of the nuclear program that are very significant. We went after, people are not talking about this enough in my mind. We went after the scientists and the facilities of the weaponization group itself, to the point where even if Iran decided or was able to enrich to 90% enriched uranium, if they don't have the people and the facilities to turn this into a bomb, they are delayed quite substantially. This is a new element in this attack compared to other plans that Israel has had before. Israel took care of the Natanz facility very well. Israel took care of enrichment of centrifuges production plants very well, of conversions facilities very well. And eventually, I'm sure that we will not finish this campaign without damaging Fordo to the best extent that we can do. Will that be as a massive ordnance penetrator? No, but it will be the best that Israel can do.
Well, given the success that you've talked about, why is there an urgency to strike now then? If that has been accomplished and the institutional knowledge gone, those who could create this in a quick way gone, the revamping of it far delayed, why continue the strike?
You mean in Fordo at the moment or in general? Once we've started this campaign, we better finish it in the best way we can. No one has an appetite to go after this again and again and again. We have now a new window of opportunity. Again, I'm talking from an Israeli perspective. If the United States decides the situation in Iran justifies a U.S. action, there is, again, a window of opportunity. The Iran defenses are very weak. Iran is weak in general.
Well, let me ask you on that point, of the Iran being weak. Do you have any concerns that we've obviously seen less and less missiles going into Israel and it being successfully averted if they do? But are you concerned that they are withholding certain supplies or missiles in the anticipation that the United States might be coming involved?
Well, I'm sure Iran is calculating their number of missiles and planning ahead. They have been degraded by their capabilities. Missiles have been fired. Israel was able to destroy a massive number of missiles and of launchers and other facilities. But Iran is still firing missiles at our my families live in places very close to where missiles have fallen before, including this night. It's true that the numbers are going down, but Iran must understand that this can take longer, and I'm sure that they are planning their missiles to the future. And at a certain point in time, this will need to end. From an Israeli perspective, Iran is 2,000 kilometers away. This is not like an ongoing war with Gaza or Hezbollah. So I think in a matter of days, maybe a week, either we can achieve more substantial gains in Iran, and this should continue, or we will need to wrap it up. It's better to do this when we have created the most amount of damage that we can to their nuclear program, to the most amount of damage that we can to their missile program, so that they cannot ramp up their capabilities later and pose another threat, and definitely not be able to dash to a bomb after this attack has ended.
I know we have to go, but I want you to listen for a moment to what the head of the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, said to my colleague Christiane Amanpour, challenging what Prime Minister Netanyahu had said for decades, that Iran is racing towards the capability in the world. Listen to this.
We did not have any proof of a systematic effort to move into a nuclear weapon. The material is there. There have been in the past some activities. related to the development of nuclear weapons, but we did not have at this point disarmament.
So what is different now than what Netanyahu has said for decades?
So what I understand is that in recent months, Israel was able to find activities done by the Iranian scientists, allegedly approved by the supreme leader, to start creeping toward a nuclear weapon. Rafael Grossi, the head of the IAEA, is probably right. We do not see the full weaponization program falling in full force, dashing to a bomb and racing to it. But from an Israeli perspective, we shouldn't wait until that time. If we understand that the supreme leader made a decision that having a bomb is something that he wants in his possession and move towards it, after just in recent weeks and months, he continuously said, we never wanted a nuclear bomb, we never have a program to a nuclear bomb. Of course they did. We know this from the archive, and we know that they lied. And if we did have intel, and I think we did have intel, that they were starting moving towards that direction, Israel can't wait for that long. Maybe the United States can wait and act closer to it, but I'm not sure that the United States is willing to engage militarily in Iran in any case. From an Israeli perspective, we cannot wait till the last moment. We have to act when we have a chance, and this was the time. And just to make it clear, this is getting support for the entire political spectrum in Israel. This is not a Benjamin Netanyahu as a prime minister decision. Former Prime Minister Bennett is approving it, and Lapid, and all the rest.
Well, there's a lot more questions to answer, of course, and we'll have to see what the timeline will be here in the United States on their decision-making as well. Eyal Hulata, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.